All righty. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Shoemaker, and welcome to my Home Advisor Mastery course, a little mini course here, also known as Angie Leads now, because I did get bought out. For those of you who don't know me, don't know my content, I did 10 years in the Navy, got out, got into sales, became the #1 sales guy for water treatment on the East Coast. Then got headhunted to help build a solar startup where I took that from 600K to 25 million in 11 months. And I have recently started my own water treatment company last year. And I am now documenting my journey of me building that from nothing to hopefully within the next couple of years, 25, 50, 100 million, and eventually maybe $1 billion business. And so what I want to talk about today is probably what has been the biggest pain in my butt, but has also been my most profitable lead source now, which is Homeadvisor. And if you are in the home service industry or you do things where homeowners need housement, we put about 7 grand in for the year and we got back around $130,000. So very, very good piece of equipment, awesome lead gen source if you can learn how to master it. So my hope is by watching this, you will have that mastery, and I'm hoping the value that this gives you will be immense. So let's dive in. So some hurdles to consider when using Homeadvisor. And one thing to also consider is whether you use Homeadvisor, Angie Leads, or Angie Ads. So if you go to Angie Ads, that is traditional Angie list. Angie Leads is Homeadvisor. Just anecdotally, I don't like Angie Ads. They tie you into month-over-month contracts and you have to pay to get out of it. With Homeadvisor or Angie Leads, you can set a budget and cancel whenever you want. So as far as scalability, I really do feel like Angie Leads is the better service provider here. Now, one hurdle to that is Homeadvisor leads are shared leads. So you have lots of competition. When a lead comes into their platform, they're going to distribute it to every person that can service that need in your area on the platform. So it's really competitive and you have to make sure you're getting a hold of these guys very quickly. With that being said, the more reviews that you have, the more sales you're going to get, the more leads that'll answer your phone calls, and the more chances to actually close these people you'll have. I didn't quite believe this at first. I just thought, hey, if I did a really good job reaching out to customers, they would answer. But I can tell you from having 5 reviews to 10 reviews was a massive jump. And then from 10 reviews to 20 reviews, I mean, compared to when I had 5, I think our pickup rate went up by about 80%. So reviews matter. And if you are brand new and you don't have a ton of clients yet, that's okay. Just reach out to friends and family and have them leave reviews for you. Homeadvisor really doesn't care because they want you to stay on the platform. That's how they make their money. So they actually want you to just get reviews however you can. So when you first start out, incentivize your friends and family. And then when you're during your sales process, make sure you have a way to get reviews after the sales. That should be built into your scripts. If you need help with that, I do have some scripts I can always share. But I'm telling you, that is the biggest thing that you need with Homeadvisor, especially in the first 12 months, is reviews, 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 reviews. Um, Common sense here, bigger service area, more leads you'll get. When I first started, I only had a small service area in Virginia Beach that I was able to service. Over time, I was able to expand that. So the more you wasn't a hotbed for people who were interested in water treatment. But when I expanded to the rest of Virginia, we got a lot more well water homes and people that actually needed our services. So we got more sales in. One good thing about this platform, obviously, is that people are looking to solve a problem. So when you do get a hold of a homeowner, you are walking into a warm lead to where there's a problem that needs to be solved. So as far as having to build a problem and get people to understand your product or your service, that kind of comes down for you. You can literally get in there, show them why you're the best, and a lot of times you'll get a lot of sales from that when you can get into the home. Okay. Now, with that being said, you will probably be doing more price comparison sales because when people go on Homeadvisor, more often than not, they may get 1 to 2 to 3 quotes because, like I said, it's a shared lead service. So you have multiple people calling them. So You are going to have to train your salespeople how to compete against other companies, and you're going to need to have a compelling offer to beat these other companies, especially if you're higher ticket than the competition. Um, Also, to make sure you don't get broke on HomeAdvisor, make sure that you credit all your bad leads at least every 2 weeks. So the way HomeAdvisor gets leads is either from direct, or they run social media ads or Google ads, kind of the same way you would run ads to get leads on your own. So there is times where you'll get some junk leads in HomeAdvisor. Just make sure you stay on top of it, because especially if you have a bigger budget and you get a lot of leads in, it can be really tough to manage, and you will get some bad leads in there. People that didn't mean to look for a service, bad phone numbers, emails, all kinds of stuff. I do a follow-up cadence every 2 weeks. Excuse me. And what I used to do, I used to use my note app in my phone to keep track of all the names, but I actually found it was just easier to, in HomeAdvisor, there is a little note section. And I found it's just much easier to leave a quick DNQ note in the app itself, because when you call them to get your credits back, I can just scroll down my lead list, click on the name, and I can see right then and there who my bad leads were and what the issues they had was. So give that a shot. It'll make your workflow a lot easier. So this is just my lifetime ROAS. So right now we're at 14 to 1. So you can see on HomeAdvisor right here, 138,217 year to date. This was from last month. So we've had more sales from when the screenshot was taken. I think we're now at around like 145, 150,000 through HomeAdvisor. So very, very, very good return on investment. If you can ever find something that gives you more than 5 to 1, you want to dump all your money into that. So this is by far where we have most of our marketing dollars going right now, because we're getting 14 to 1 on it. It's very good. This is my lifetime spend. So $9,462.30. And when this presentation was made, we had 138,217 top line. So pretty good. Now, I put these slides in here because I don't believe you should just believe me because I said so. So if you guys want to go back and you want to add all these numbers up, these are all of my billing statements from HomeAdvisor, just so you can see I'm being fully transparent, and this is actually what I spent on HomeAdvisor. Here's the next slide. Yeah, like I said, you guys can go back and add these all up if you'd like, just so you can make sure I did my math right as well. So, although that's all great and sounds awesome, how it started 4 months in was not as great or awesome. So when we first started doing this, my first 4 months in, I spent, well, right there, almost $2,500 and made nothing. So we actually ended up canceling HomeAdvisor for a period of 2 to 3 months, because I just thought I was wasting money. And this is my first 4 months in business. After paying for equipment and everything else, I literally had no money. So I'm broke here. I'm using my credit cards to do marketing, and having $2,500 go out with nothing coming in just felt horrible. And what was even more frustrating is during that time, we did have leads come into the platform. So leads were coming in. I thought we were doing a good job, but we weren't getting anyone to call or answer our phone calls or sit down or even allow us to sell. And the ones that we were able to run, my guys couldn't close them, or they couldn't afford it, or they had other competition come in, and it was just a nightmare. So I thought that this was kind of a snake oil service. I was looking elsewhere. And then finally, as I matured as a business, I got more systems in place. I saw one of my buddies who was using HomeAdvisor in a different market. They were doing really well. So I was like, okay, I just got to figure this out, because even without this, our lead flow was super low and I needed to get sales. So, this was our old process and it was very bad. So I want to show you what the old process was. So you don't repeat it. And then if you are doing this right now, it's okay. You can change it and move it to something a little bit more profitable. So first thing, we had less than 5 reviews on HomeAdvisor. I did not do as good of a job as I should have of making sure that we had reviews coming in. So bad on me. Also, what was happening is when calls would come in, because I was so busy and I was the only one with a work phone, I wouldn't call them right away. I actually was leveraging one of my buddies that owns a water treatment company in PA, and he had a call center and he had people that worked for him full time as admins. So what I was doing is when the contact came in, I would copy the name and I would send it over to them so that they could call. Now, what would happen is there'd be a big lag time between that, because they're busy doing their own calls. So after the leads came in, it would probably be maybe 10 minutes or more before they ever got a call from us, which, as you're going to learn, is a big no-no. I kind of touched on this earlier, but I had a small operating area. I was only in the Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area, so I wasn't really able to get a big capture of all the leads that were available in the state. And I didn't have any automations or a follow-up cadence. So when these leads came in, it was really sporadic on how often I'd reach out to them, if I would reach out to them. Um, and they would get nothing automated at all. So very low leverage system here is what we were using. And as such, we did not get very good returns, which is what you could expect. Right. So very low leverage, 2,400, almost $2,500 put in and nothing coming out. So very, very bad. Don't do that. So this was our new, which we made a lot more money. So this is actually what the process looks like for us now. So a request comes in, they get a call within literally a millisecond. That is from me calling them or having automations, and I'll go into how that works here in a bit. They get a text from us, they get an email automation. We then book the appointment. We then get a review after the appointment, whether we sell it or don't sell it. We always go for the review, and then we repeat the process. And that is how we got to our highest leverage vehicle within Homeadvisor. We spent around $7,000 that year and made about 130K. Okay. So the call within a millisecond. Let's go in. So this is what the leads look like when they come into my work phone. Now, if you've just signed up for Homeadvisor, this is not how it will look. So what happens is when you first set up an account with Homeadvisor and leads come in, they give you this Homeadvisor number. So you'll call them, or Homeadvisor will call you, and you basically just press a number, and then a phone call will go out to the client. What's kind of frustrating though is that this doesn't show your area number, which statistically, people, if they see an area code that's similar to the place that you serve, they're more likely to pick up. But also, you just can't quickly get a hold of these clients. So you have to go through the app and everything like that. So what you want to do is when you have this system live is you want to call your Homeadvisor rep and say, hey, I want you to switch my call settings so that way I get their direct phone number. Okay, so these numbers that you see here are the customer's actual phone numbers. That means you can call and you can text them. Because if you don't have this, you have no way to text them directly. You'll just send them a message through the Homeadvisor app. So go ahead and get that set up. The only, I'd say, thing that's not great about this is you can't do your credits online. So when you first set up your account, they're going to allow you to go onto the app and you can request the credits for bad leads right then and there. When you do it this way, you do have to call in your leads manually to get those credits. However, you get a higher return on investment by doing it this way. So it's worth the headache, in my opinion. And by doing this, you can literally just click on the number, call them, and you get a hold of them very, very quickly. After I call them, if they don't answer, I send them a text right away. Okay. So that's how we get the call in within the first second. Then I send them a text message. So this is what my texts look like when I send them to the clients. You want to keep them very short and very sweet and directly to the point. Okay. So you can see on the top left, good evening. My name is Justin from Clearwave. We just got your request for water treatment. How can we help? That has actually been that little word block has been my highest return text message to date. So now I use it on everything. The one to the right, you see, only has a little bit more words to it, yet no one answers to that one. Or they do, but not as often. I sent, I think, 10 of those texts to some leads and didn't get a single response. But the one to the left gets a better return rate. So the one to the right, this is just from Clearwave Water Solutions. I added more words. Received your project from Homeadvisor in regards to looking for water treatment. How can I help? Not much more in there, yet the shorter you can make it and the concise you can make it, the bigger return you're going to get. And I don't know if that's just because, clients get bored or that looks too formal. I'm not sure. However, what I can tell you is if you use a small text bubble like the one on the left, you will get more people to respond to you. So do that. All right, email automations. So this is what my emails look like. In our CRM, we have an automation where when they come into the CRM, they immediately get an email from us and a text automation. Okay. And this is what the email looks like. And what's nice about this is not only does it get sent to them direct the moment they put in their information in Homeadvisor, is this allows them to directly book an appointment on our calendars. And especially if you want high leverage, you want to have that ability so your clients can book without you even needing to talk to them. Because sometimes older clients look at their emails more than they do their phones and their text. So this is a phenomenal way to have that customer just book an appointment without you even needing to speak to them. We also link our reviews and our website here so they can just get more information about us. A lot of times, if you have a buyer that's shopping around, this really just anchors you as being a professional company. Uh, HomeAdvisor has an API. So when you have your whichever CRM you use, we use Zoho One, but if you're using Salesforce or Go High Level or whatever you're using, you can sync your HomeAdvisor app to your CRM using their APIs. So that way, the moment those leads come in, they get put into your CRM, and then from your CRM, you can set up automations like this. This really, really helps us get a hold of people right away. So with all that being said, the moment a lead comes in, this client gets about 4 to 5 touches from us within less than a minute. Okay. That's a lot of touch points. So, and you might think that might annoy people, but for us, we've gotten no negative feedback on it. But instead, anytime someone comes into the HomeAdvisor funnel, we capture them. 99% of the time, they'll answer our phone calls, which is amazing. Okay. And then book the appointment. So when you're booking these appointments, you can use either your built-in CRM calendar, or what you can do, you can use a third party. So when we first started, before we had our CRM fully up and running, we used a program called youcanbookme.com because it did integrate with our CRM at the time, which just is super nice because it allowed us to basically have an ease of scheduling. I don't have to see, which one of my reps is off or when they can run an appointment, because this syncs directly to all of my reps' calendars. So if they don't have time blocked off, that means they're available to work. So it just makes the whole process so much quicker. I don't have to call people, second guess, right? The faster you get someone booked, the better. Also, with our email integrations, it allows the clients to reschedule on their own and then sends us an email confirmation. Now, what's important on that, it's reschedule only, right? We want to make the customer experience really good. So if they do need to reschedule, we allow that. We do not allow them to cancel, however. So if they want to cancel, they do have to call us. Obviously, the reason being is if they're trying to cancel the appointment, we want the opportunity to try and save it and get them back on the calendar, because obviously if they just cancel the appointment, we're losing out on money. And then the biggest thing from going to like just the sit to the sale is set it within 72 hours and make sure both legs are there. This should be common sense, but in the heat of the moment, a lot of times we might forget this. You want to lead the conversation when you're on the phone with them, if you are talking to them, to book it within 72 hours. So whenever you're talking to a potential client, never ask them, hey, what day or time works for you? You want to lead the conversation. So when you're on the phone with them, you want to be like, hey, awesome, thanks for reaching out. Listen, we have availability today, tomorrow, and the next day between these times. Which one works for you and the other homeowners in the home? That's how you want to phrase it, right? You say, what time of the times I have available works for you and all the other homeowners to be present? I just framed it all in one sentence. And what happens is people want to be directed. So if you ask them what time works for them, your client is just going to sit there with no direction and just find a time they think is most convenient. That might be tomorrow or it might be 2 weeks from now. However, if you give them a direction and you give them something to choose from, they'll, instead of them trying to think about their own schedule, they now think, okay, what times can I work based off the availability that he gave me? Okay. I promise you it works. It works. It works. So set within 72 hours, but lead the conversation. Don't let them pick. Give them some options. All right, so that covers all that. Let's go into the review process. So this is our current reviews on HomeAdvisor. So you can see we have 20 reviews, all 5 stars because we're the best. No, we do work really hard to make sure we stay at 5 stars. You'll notice here there is a review link that you can copy. So what we do to get reviews is a couple of things. Number one, if we've sold the deal, we'll wait till after the install to grab that review. And whenever we get done with an installation, especially for water treatment, I always have my sales reps go back to the home to do a retest and just make sure that the customer's happy. If they're happy, I have them text this little code to the client while they're in the house so they can leave a review right then and there. Okay. Alternatively, if they don't do that, all of the leads that you have will show up here and it'll say request review. So if you, even if you just did an appointment and you didn't sell it, it's always a good idea just to go down here and just click it. Just click all the people you had a good experience with, and it will ping that client to say, hey, do you mind leaving a review? I have found if you've done a good job and you've asked for the review in the home, which is something you should always do, whether you get the sale or not, you should ask them, hey, would you mind leaving us a review? We're a growing company. These reviews really help us. And even if you don't buy from us, if I did a good service, can you please leave a review for me? My bosses love it, whatever. Um, it sometimes we just forget. So clicking this right here, I say every week, just going through and clicking, hey, request review from old clients or leads that you ran is a really, really good way to bump up those numbers very, very quickly. I did this a couple days ago and we got 2 reviews off it right off the top because I just forgot. As well as, and take a side note, if you guys have a Google business profiles, I send a mass link of reviews with this included. So just make sure you have that process dialed in, that whenever a sale is done, that you as the CEO or the entrepreneur, you have a process to send them these review links. And then if you can get your salespeople to follow up on that as well, it's a really great way to get more reviews. Fun fact that you can also do is ask for one review before they leave the home. So let's say you get done doing the presentation and they buy from you. I would say, hey, do you mind leaving me a review on Homeadvisor about how this appointment went? They'll say, yeah. And then when you go back the second time, you say, hey, now that you guys love our systems or our service, would you mind leaving us a review on Google? So now you get 2 reviews for the price of one. All right. Very, very powerful. These reviews are amazing. People buy off reviews a lot of times. So just make sure you are doing everything you can to get those reviews. Okay. And then we just repeat it. All right. So I want to go over, so that's our process. Very simple. It's not rocket science, but the key takeaways is calling them within less than a second. The getting those touch points in quickly is literally going to change the game for you, as well as getting your reviews up. Those are the 2 things you need to dominate on Homeadvisor. Okay. Now, I want to talk about some things that you can do to a little bit more advanced, but things that you'll need to know so that way you can exponentially grow on Homeadvisor. So the first thing is lead volume. So what you can do is you can go to your managed leads and you can choose your service area and also how much your budget's going to be. So you'll see right now, our current Homeadvisor budget is $20,000, which seems like a lot of money. But here's the thing, and this is something that I realized on Homeadvisor, is you want to set your budget about 3 to 4 times more than what you actually want to spend. Because the way they actually operate is they just want to fill up your budgets as fast as they can. So it doesn't mean you're going to hit that every month. It just means that is the amount of lead volume that you say you can handle. So if you set a $3,000 budget, they're only going to try to fill your leads up to fill that $3,000 mark. Okay. Which means they're also not going to give you as many leads. When you have a $20,000 budget, they want to fill it up as much as possible. So what happens is you get higher ranked on lead flow for all your different service areas. So they just try to fill it up as fast as they can. And as long as you just maintain this and you stay on top of it, you won't lose your ass. You'll be okay. To date, I've only per month not even gotten close to this. I think the most I've spent a month so far is like 2 to 3 grand. Okay, while having a $20,000 budget. So put your budget up as high as you can. I say, like I said, 4 to 5x what you want to spend. I know for us per month, I don't want to spend more than 5 grand. Okay, that's kind of where my pain point is as far as the lead goes. So we haven't even gotten close to it. But what will happen is if there's a big surge of volume or a big surge of people that need your service, they're going to fill your stuff up first, okay? Because you have the biggest budget to capture all those leads. And if you want to do an even funner hack, if you want to just try to target a small area to see how well that market is, you can actually shrink your service area to just a couple locations, rank up that budget to as high as you can, maybe 20, 30K, and you will be the prime leader in that small market. And you can kind of get a quick service vibe on how that market is, right? You will get a very quick feedback loop of a bunch of leads coming in. So then you could, basically, let's say you want to only spend 3 or 4 grand, crank this up to 30, 40K. Just watch your budget. Once it gets to 3 to 4 grand, turn off your leads on the app so you don't get any more leads. Run all those appointments, and you'll have an awesome little subject pool to see how good that little market is that you're trying to target. And then you can do that on all these different locations. So if you're looking to expand somewhere and you don't know if it has the right avatar for someone that buys your service, this is a really great way just to get some marketplace data very quickly. And it's really good. It's better data than buying, in my opinion, data off lists or just calling people, because you'll actually be able to send reps out there and see for your business, does the avatars and the people that want to buy in that area fit your business. And you'll notice that when you have a super small service area with a huge budget, you just get a ton of leads in. So obviously, the bigger the service area, the more your budget needs to be. We have a very big service area, but even still, it barely fills us up every month. Just to give you an idea, this is our current service area. So we service pretty much all the major cities in Virginia, okay, as well as District of Columbia. And we did this in a year. Well, not even a full year, about 9 months, we were able to completely expand. So, it's if you can get there, I'm telling you, it's the best way to get more leads. All you really need is a couple sales guys in each of the major territories that you're going to be servicing. And then depending on what your sales cycle looks like, someone to install the deals. If you're brand new and you don't have installers, I guarantee you there is a company that does what you do in your area that you can pay as a third party to do your work for you. You'll usually pay about a 10 to 20% premium on that, but in my opinion, it's well worth the cash flow hit to get your deals in and get your name out there, and then you can slowly build up your own installation crew, so that way you can keep the cost down and keep everything in house, which ultimately is where you want to go, because that's where you control the most quality control. So the final actions that we take, let's say, we can't get a hold of somebody, or we do set the appointment and they don't sell. We do have a retargeting bucket in our CRM. So after about 30 to 45 days, if we don't get a hold of them, we throw them into the retargeting bucket in our CRM, which will send them dedicated automations and text and email cadences for that particular bucket. So it'll give them offers. It'll, trickle down to, I think after 60 days, they get like a 30% off offer if they sign up in that week. And then we also have our reps do a follow-up cadence. So at least once or twice a month, they have to go through that retarget and reach back out to them until they get told to like leave them alone, right? Until someone tells you like, dude, stop freaking calling me. Like, I don't want your thing. We keep reaching out to them. And then once we get to the point where someone's just like, I don't want your thing anymore, like, stop calling me, we'll put them into a bucket that is literally only email trickles. So once every 2 months, they get another blast from us, just, information about water and just trying to stay top of mind. So that way, if they do one day come around trying to get our service, at least they have the information. And of course, if they really don't want what we're going to sell them, they can unsubscribe from our emails. And that's it. We did all we could. So here's some just, new things that we are now doing this year to get that 1% better on Homeadvisor. So this is not stuff that you necessarily have to have right now, especially if you're brand new. And this is only something we recently have been able to afford to do. So you can still get the same type of returns that I had previously by doing what I talked about earlier. This is just more of an optimization that we have now implemented. And if you want to implement this as well, feel free. So we have an AI hybrid VA. So basically, if I can't get to a phone call or if a lead comes in, we do have an AI bot that will call out to these individuals. And what's really nice is it's AI and human. So the AI makes the initial reach out. If they get a hold of the customer, they will then transfer it to a real person. That real person then communicates with them like a traditional virtual assistant. And then depending on what the how the call goes, that VA will then transfer the call to me if it's a qualified customer, or they'll send an automation into our CRM if they're not qualified or if they need to be followed up with. Very, very effective. We've gotten a lot. I would say our process has gotten way easier by doing this. It's also taking the stress off me. If I can't get to my phone right away, I know that customer will be getting a phone call or be reached out to within that 1 to 5 second time frame that they need to really be effective. If I can't get a hold of a Homeadvisor lead when it first comes in, what we've started doing is assigning that to the reps themselves to work those leads. Sales guys, you need to keep them busy. And what's nice is if it's a slow day, they don't have any appointments on the books, you can assign these to them in their CRM. So now they have leads that they can work and potentially get some more commissions on. So this helps the administrative side of the business stay, unencumbered, and it allows my sales team to stay busy. So very, very effective. And then I kind of touched on this earlier, but doing multiple review follow-ups. Before we would only ask for one review, but now we are asking for two reviews, one in the home and then one after when we come back to do a retest, or just to do a customer care call. Say, hey, how do you like the services? What can we improve upon? Hey, do you mind leaving us a review on X, Y, and Z site? Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope that provides some value to you. And more importantly, I do hope that you can implement some of these things in your own business and make some money. So, with that being said, go get paid. Again, my name is Justin Shoemaker, owner of Clearwave Water, and I am trying to grow that business as well as help as many business owners as I can. If you like this content, then please follow me on YouTube. It is just Justin Shoemaker. I'm on Instagram, JS_shoes. My company, Clearwave, is on all those sites as well. I am the Waterboy official on TikTok. So if you like this stuff, you want to see more of it, let me know. Follow me. I want to give you guys as much content. If there are things you'd like to see or things that could be improved, leave me the comments. I always love the feedback, and I hope this really does help. If it does help you, please message me so I know that you got some value, because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and I feel like my time is not wasted because I was able to help at least one person. So go get paid, guys. I'm looking forward to hearing your messages. Peace.